It's your boy Sebastian, and I'm back again. So today, day 8, the word is disconnected. It is an adjective. It means having a connection broken, of a person lacking contact with reality, of speech, writing, or thought lacking a logical sequence, incoherent. So, with that being said, a lot of us always feel that we are disconnected from the world, disconnected from our bodies. Like we don't feel connected to it in the way that others are connected to their bodies. Um, that's because our genitalia do not align with the person that we are inside. We are, whether male to female or female to male, the fact is that our bodies, for me, is female to male. I don't align with my vagina or that thing down there. My genitalia, it gives me a lot of dysphoria. It gives many people a lot of dysphoria. It's not just me that has this problem. I read on Reddit a lot of other people who have the same things, the same issues. Like even in the Facebook groups I'm in, all over the world, like we all have. It's a spectrum of feelings of dysphoria. Like some people don't have it at all for their bottom half. They get top surgery, take testosterone if they take testosterone, and they're like, okay, I'm good. So, hey, they're fine with where they are in their transition. For me, I have to have it all. I need top surgery. I need bottom surgery to feel more connected to the body that I am in. I'm currently on testosterone. I have been on testosterone for almost a year and 2-3 months now. I am very happy with how far I've come thus far of being on testosterone. I love my voice. I feel like it's still getting deeper. I also read online it says, it may take 2 to 5 years or whatever for your permanent voice to stick with you. In fact, that was one of the first things I noticed was how my voice began to deepen. The people that I was around on a regular basis, like every day or every other day, they said they never heard a change in my voice. So they missed it. And then there are times now that they'll be like, oh, I can hear the difference from way back then from where I first used to talk to them. And let me tell you, I was a very loud, high-pitched person. So you could hear me from anywhere. Now they're having trouble hearing me when I'm talking normally. Right now I'm talking a little bit louder. I'm also in a room by myself where there's no one really around. So there's no other sounds that's gonna mess with you being able to hear me as I speak. But on the phone, it sounds more like this. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, speak up, I can't hear you. And I'm like, okay, can you hear me now? And like, it's the deepness of the voice going through the phone, I guess. It just doesn't work. My lady tells me all the time, baby, you gotta speak up. Like, I love your deep voice, but you gotta speak up so I can hear you. So I do speak up. I try to make sure that I project more so that everyone can hear me. But going back to the disconnected thing, being disconnected, it causes such a host of other problems. Like mentally, you have the issue of dealing with depression, anxiety. During transition, we're like, are we passing? Can they tell? Now, for me, most of my life, people couldn't tell whether I was male or female, despite the fact that I have, or shall I say, had double D breast. Since being on testosterone, they have shrunk. They are not as huge as they used to be. they're easier to hide now than they were at the beginning. Um, but a lot of people don't quite really understand how difficult it is to wake up in the morning and not be able to just get up and just go outside in the body that you feel is your body, you know? Um, it's difficult. It's not an easy thing. Transition is hard on everyone around you, not just me, but everyone around me, because, you know, we go through mood swings. We're up, we're down, we're left, we're right. Sexually, we have issues as well. I'm not speaking for myself. It's what I've heard others say and whatnot. My sex drive is perfectly fine. It is high as I don't know what. Um, I don't have an issue with getting it in. Have a lot of stamina, lasts quite some time. So, and you know, for others, maybe that's not the case, or maybe they can't get off. In a way, I have that issue, like, because I don't align with the genitalia that I have down there. I don't, it's not the same. I wish I could feel the inside of my lady's vagina without my fingers, you know. I'm also sorry if you're watching this and you feel some type of way about the things that I've said. Disclaimer, I am sorry that I did not warn you before. Maybe I'll put that at the beginning of the video to make sure that everyone knows there will be some interesting use of wordage. But yeah, so in that way, I'm definitely 100% disconnected from my body. Like, in a sense, I get off by how she reacts, how she sounds, how she feels, how she's touching me. Because, you know, you can't feel a prosthetic. You can't feel something made in China or wherever these different things are made. I will be so happy when I can say it's mine and I can feel it, you know. Thinking about using my arm, you know. I don't know. Maybe my arm. I don't know. I might use my thighs. I'm still fat right now, so I know technically I'm not supposed to use my thighs because they do the pinch test and all that good stuff, and they don't want my lower half to be bigger than they can, you know, close and assess, not to mention swelling and all of those things. So I'm thinking I'm going to use my arm. I'm perfectly fine using my arm now. I used to not be. I used to think that if I used my arm, I would feel some type of way about people looking at the scar. But the more that I go through this transition, I realize a lot of things that I worried about to begin with, like the different scars and stuff, I no longer care about. I just want to feel like me. And if I can feel connected to myself, connected to my body, connected to the way that I feel in this sense, then the disconnect can go away. You know, I can stop having a broken connection, as they say, you know. But I want to be able to be like, you know, 100% wake up in the morning and not feel anxiety or depression because I don't look or sound or feel the way that I want to feel in this life. You know, we get this one life to live, and the best thing I can do is live it how I see fit. So, you know, live your life as you see fit. Don't let your parents discourage you. Even if you're under 18 at the time, I'm not saying run away. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is wait till you're 18. Because when you turn 18, you are legally an adult in the United States. Go out and get testosterone, get top surgery, bottom surgery, whatever it is that you want to have that your parents told you no. You're 18 now. More than likely, some parents will be like, you got to go altogether. I'm sorry. I wish I could do something about all the people who have that happen to them, especially our youth. Like, what's going on? Like, these laws is so much. And the worst part is that they're disconnecting us more and more and more from being able to live life, because what's going to happen is that there's going to be more bodies dropping versus, oh, well, we're abusing kids. I don't feel like we're abusing kids. Now, also, I personally wouldn't allow my kid to medically transition, um, unless, like, I'm 1,000% sure that they're not going to change their mind. That means they lived years at this point that way. And I know that they're not going to change in the next 2 years or the next 3, 4, 5 years. And then I would be willing to allow them to go on maybe hormone blockers. But I want them to pass that puberty age so that I can make sure that they grow. Because I've watched, Becoming Jazz, and I wish they had one for Transman, like a kid that's going through that, like truly going through all from, small all the way up, would be nice for us to see from the female to male perspective, other than the male to female perspective, about all the things that they have to go through, and what happens if your body doesn't go through puberty the way that it should, because unfortunately that's what had happened to Jazz, that it didn't, her body did not grow as the male that she originally was, that she was born as. I shouldn't say originally was, that she was born as, and was not able to, have her vagina be exactly the way she wanted. She had so many surgeries. I actually felt really bad for her watching all of that, because damn, she went through a lot, like a lot. And so I feel like since she went through so much, I don't want my kid to have to go through so much in that aspect. I want them to be able to be free to be themselves. If that means dressing like a girl or dressing like a boy, or changing their name, I'm fine with that. I can do that as a minor. Changing your name is not a big deal to me. For all you know, your kid will change their name anyway because they don't like what you named them, or other people mess up their name so much that they decide to legally change their name to something else, so they don't have the issues of having someone say, "Oh, how you pronounce your name again? Oh, let me. Oh, what? That is, it gets on your nerves, especially like if it's like, I know somebody named MJ, but his name is literally spelled M dash J. And I think that is so crazy and weird. But that's just my personal opinion. Name your kid what you want to name. That's your kid. I can't stop you from naming your kid whatever you may want to name them. I have plenty of names that I want to name my kids in the future, so I get it. And although none of them are, I feel like any names that anyone would be confused about how to say or spell or any of those things, does not mean that somebody couldn't mess it up because they're from maybe a different country, so they don't know how to pronounce the name. I don't know. But things happen. Stuff changes. And I want my kids to be happy and healthy. And that is the biggest thing to me. So even if they can't, if I will not allow them to medically transition at the very beginning, I want them to know that I am there for them. I am on their side. And then me as a trans parent, which I don't know if my kids will notice that or know that at the time, because I hope to have had all my surgeries by the time they start like really developing friends, and stuff like that. That way that they won't be like, well, you went through this, this, and this. I'm much older than they are, so I mean, I could always say that, but I don't want to do my children exactly the way that some of the adults in my life did me as a child. I don't want to be like, well, don't worry about that. You're not old enough, or you're a child and you need to stay in child's place. I've never liked that saying. Neither has my mother. It's not that a child shouldn't stay in a child's place. It's that sometimes children have interesting insights to adult problems. Believe it or not, I was one of those kids. That's how I know my mother. My mother and I are definitely alike in that aspect. Children, all of them are not as young as you think. Some are very wise at the ages that they are. And if you have the conversations that some parents have with their kids, you'll see how intelligent your kids are, and the reason why they get into grown folks' business, or better yet, why you talking around your kids anyway? Now, if they just happen to come in the room, I understand that because they wasn't supposed to be listening or eavesdropping from wherever they were. But things happen, so hey, whatever. But I'm just saying. So with the word being disconnected today, what we're going to try to do is not be disconnected from our lives, from our friends, our family, from ourselves. Like, figure out a way to cope for the time being. And with that being said, I'm gonna also let you know what cope means, because my therapist is big about me and coping with things. So cope is a verb of a person deal effectively with something difficult, of a machine or system have the capacity to deal successfully with. So pretty much you just need to be able to adapt to what's going on around you. And I know it's not easy because I've had my issues. I'm now on medication for mental health, mentally. Like I said, depression and anxiety. I have a lot of it. It's hard for me to talk to people sometimes. That's how bad my anxiety is. I can talk to this camera all day long because I can't literally see you as you're watching this, and you're not literally in front of me as I'm filming this. So my anxiety isn't high. It's very, very low at this point. But I have those difficult days where it's hard to get through, depression-wise, anxiety-wise. So y'all take care of yourselves. Find a therapist. Talk to someone. Especially someone who can give you back some kind of feedback. If you find another trans person to talk to, feel free to talk to me. Shoot me a message in the comments and say that you want to talk to me, and I'm willing to talk to anyone. As long as my schedule permits, I'm down. I'm currently trying so many different things to get to where I need to be and where I want to be, so that I can live the life that I want to live. So I feel optimistic this time, way more optimistic than I've been in the future. Well, excuse me, in the past, because the future I'm very optimistic about. But it hasn't been easy, and I've had very difficult days. So I'm just saying, y'all enjoy though. I hope everybody makes it. Y'all have a blessed day. I gotta go, so y'all know what to do. Boom.